Bonjour, bienvenue au French Tech Podcast. Welcome to the French Tech Podcast, recording here at the Asia Startup Summit. Very happy to welcome Xavier from Business France.
Bonjour.
Welcome, Xavier.
Thanks.
Now, you've just recently arrived in the Southeast Asia region where you're now becoming Director of Business France for Malaysia. Is that correct?
Exactly. I just arrived 3 months ago from Lille, and as a new director of Business France in Malaysia, we are 8 in my team,
Right.
and we are organized by different sectors: agrotech, industry and clean tech, art de vivre and health, and the last one, but maybe the best one, the tech and service
Right.
sector. And also I am in charge of animation of the Asian and with Australia too, Asian team for this
Fantastic.
specific tech sector.
Well, tech is obviously our focus at French Tech Singapore, but I also really love art de vivre as a category, right?
Yes.
That is something that's so typically French. It's really fantastic.
Yeah, the Art de Vivre. Just to talk about Art de Vivre just a little bit, we for instance, we organized last month with Singapore and Malaysia a special business trip and with a tasting wine France
Oh, wow.
with a delegation of 11 French winemakers and champagne.
right.
So it's another aspect also of France. But I think that we are more talking about tech today, and so for me it's quite interesting to be there today. Especially for me it's a second step in Asia. I lived before 15 years ago in South Korea.
Oh, wow,
And
yeah.
so I already enjoyed quite a lot Asian culture, and the way to do business quite quickly. And it's also the reason why I'm quite happy now to come back in Asia, another part of Asia, Southeast Asia.
Yeah, exactly.
And well, it's a new adventure.
Oh, that's fantastic. So you've had some experience in Asia. You have a strong international experience. Let's talk a little bit about the process, right? So I think what you guys do is great, right? You help French companies come into the region, Southeast Asia. We're talking about it every time. There's so much opportunity here, right? Enormous growth, 5% on average GDP growth year over year, but very diverse markets.
Yes.
Very different ways of doing business. So there's a lot of challenges there. Taking this to a more global level, what do you find that experience is like helping French entrepreneurs moving into different markets and helping them do business in contexts that they're not really used to?
So we are quite lucky because at the same time we are in a region, very dynamic region, because Southeast Asia is the third more dynamic region in the world after China and India.
Yeah.
And secondly, we are also in a new phase of promotion of French exports through a new reform called the Team France Export. And with this new Team France Export, we have a new way to support French companies. The first step consists in informing them in France with this Team France Export in France, not only in Paris but in all regions. And after us in our office, we are also in charge of promoting this market and finding their best opportunities and organizing their meetings, their B2B meetings, the French pavilions that we can organize too, we are especially here to support their project, and also to give for them some priorities, because they couldn't at the same time prospect all the 11 countries in Southeast Asia. And so we have also special services to help them to select the best country, the country where they have to, when they could start their business. In Southeast Asia, so 11 countries that we are covering, two places where the French Chamber of Commerce is the key point in Singapore and Philippines, and in the other place, Business France is the right partner
Right.
as
Yeah.
the partner of the French the Team France Export. Yes.
Well, I think the great thing is that all of these players work together, right, to really
Yeah.
promote French entrepreneurs and French business here in the region. I think what you just mentioned about the surface helping to find the right market for your product, right, the right market to move into is really essential, because we've discussed this before, but if you're in France, anywhere, and you're looking into Southeast Asia, you might not know the market that well, it might seem like it's one giant market.
Yes.
And it's definitely not. So I think those kinds of services are really essential.
And what is essential too is we, with this new reform, we try to have the best of the public and private
Right,
actors,
yes.
and
Have
so
them
we
work
join
together.
all of
Yeah.
them, and so we have the way to organize the best study markets. We have also the team to find the right contact, and also we have to consider the way to finance this. So it's
Yeah,
also the
yeah.
reason why we have also strong partnership with BPI France already
yeah.
here, and and so we hope that with this continuum of solution, I don't know
Yes,
what is the
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
with the continuum of solution, we can now offering we hope the best of the private and public sector to support French
That's
companies
fantastic.
to come. In just few words and a few figures, for instance, in Malaysia, we are approximately we support approximately 120 French companies
Oh, wow.
yearly,
Yeah.
especially small and medium-sized
Right.
business and companies. Through one part is collective operation. It means a French pavilion and workshop.
Yeah.
Another part is really the individual support when we are here to organize a meeting, B2B meetings, and the third way is also the VIE, and something quite famous. I don't know if we had already some time to talk about this, but it's also real. So it's a human resources solution, win-win solution for companies, for young,
Yeah.
and with VIE, it's a human resources tool which allow French companies to have inside their team European young people,
Yeah.
young under 29 years old, and they could be there during 2 years to give their best to promote the company and to especially we have a lot of engineers. We have a lot of engineers, especially in this region. And for instance, in Malaysia, 62 young VIEs are today working inside 42 French companies. But we could increase more these numbers, and I know that Singapore is also a hub for this. I think with around 200 something.
200. And I like to just really focus on that. Take a second to insist on that, because this is really a great tool. VIE. Check it out on the internet. If you're a French startup, if you're an international startup, even this is really something you should look into. You can get really relatively cheap, right? Relatively inexpensive, I should say. That's a better way of putting it. Very high qualified staff through the French government funding that's behind this program. That's really a fantastic program, especially for getting started here in the region and potentially sending someone here for 1 or 2 years to get, just a presence on the ground and try to see if there's anything that can be done here in terms of expansion.
You're completely right, and we know that. And today, to a success, to have a success, sure you need some help, some support, good advice, but you need also the people.
You need the good people,
the good people, and a good skills,
exactly,
talent, and VIE could give also for French companies nice talents. So
Absolutely.
You have to think about this formula.
Absolutely. People are always the difference, right? It's all about the team, so very, very important. Well, thank you, Xavier.
Well,
thank
and
you
also
very much
just to say that it's quite unique. Also, we are the only one French to have this kind of program, so we have to use it.
Wow, fantastic!
And around the world, 10,500 VIE are working in all over the world, and it's really the driving force for the French companies and the French economy. Thanks
Fantastic.
so very much for this
Well,
this
thank you.
time and this opportunity.
And
Thanks.
enjoy the rest of the event.
Thank you very much again.
Thank you.
Bye.